What's going on, everyone? This is Luke from South Beach Sports, and welcome to the first video of the Miami Heat free agency rumors series. This first video is going to be on current Maverick shooting guard Tim Hardaway Jr. Just to remind you guys that if you like the video and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. We here at South Beach Sports will be producing so much Miami Heat offseason content for you guys, so you do not want to miss a thing. Also, make sure to turn on that post notification bell, because you guys know with that YouTube algorithm sometimes that even if you are subscribed, you might still miss the video. So go ahead and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Greg Sylvander of 5 Reasons Sports reported last night that Tim Hardaway Jr. is intrigued by the idea of joining the Miami Heat, and Farbad Nashari, I believe that's how you say his last name, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, of Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report confirmed this report, saying that even before the playoffs started that Tim Hardaway Jr. was interested in the idea of joining the Miami Heat. Obviously, there's this family connection, as Tim Hardaway Sr. was a longtime player for the Heat. He played really well. He has his jersey retired. So there's definitely this former connection with the Hardaways and the Heat. Now, Hardaway had a productive season last year with the Mavericks. He averaged 16.6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. He also shot the ball relatively well. He shot 45% from the field and 39% from 3. This 3-point clip is actually really impressive, considering he's a very high volume 3-point shooter, averaging about 7.6 threes a game. Hardaway has also been a major playoff contributor for the Mavericks over the past 2 seasons. In the 2019 to 2020 playoff run, he averaged 18 points a game, and in the 2020 to 2021 playoff run, he averaged 17 points a game. Hardaway started this past season off on the bench. He was their 6th man, but he logged more and more starts as the season went on. He even averaged 38 minutes a game in their 7-game series against the Clippers, so Hardaway can definitely handle large minutes. There's been a lot of mixed feelings about a possible Tim Hardaway signing from Heat fans. I know there's a lot of Heat fans that see Hardaway as a bucket getter and someone who can definitely boost their rather lackluster scoring from last season, and that's true. But there's also a lot of Heat fans who see Hardaway as a Tyler Hero type player, someone who can score the ball but at the same time is very, very inconsistent. What most Heat fans would agree on, though, however, is that Hardaway would probably be their only 3-level scorer. He's obviously a high volume 3-point shooter, but he can also attack the basket as well as get into that 1-2 dribble mid-range pull-up. I really wouldn't like Tim Hardaway on the Heat if the Heat do plan on keeping Tyler Hero. I think they're similar players, and if both Hero and Hardaway plan on coming off the bench, I think that's a lot of shooting and a lot of volume scoring and not enough playmaking, enough for a bench lineup, and it's just a really weird match. If the Heat do plan on moving on from Hero, though, I wouldn't mind Hardaway coming off the bench for the right price. I think Hardaway would fill that Jordan Clarkson role that we saw this past year from Utah, and he would definitely carry the scoring load of a bench lineup. Now that I mentioned prices, let's get into those ever so important contract numbers. So Hardaway did sign a 4-year, $71 million deal in 2017 with the New York Knicks, and if you guys remember at the time, that was considered a huge overpay. Hardaway has been productive over those past 4 years, and given how the salary cap numbers have played out, that has actually looked like a pretty decent deal in retrospect. So to really gauge what type of contract Tim Hardaway might expect from a team like the Heat this offseason, we would have to look at some of the contract numbers for players who compare to Hardaway, who are high volume secondary scorers. So in that same 2017 offseason, the Miami Heat signed Dion Waiters to a 4-year, $52 million extension. If you guys remember, in that season, Waiters averaged about 16 points a game, and while he was pretty inconsistent, he was a high volume scorer. In 2019, Terrence Ross signed a 4-year, $54 million extension with the Orlando Magic. That's another player that compares to Hardaway. And in the 2020 offseason, Jordan Clarkson, who won the 6th Man of the Year award this past season, signed a 4-year, $51 million extension with the Utah Jazz. I also want to point out that Eric Gordon signed a 4-year, $76 million extension with the Houston Rockets in the 2019 offseason, but I do not think that Hardaway is at that level that Gordon was in 2019. So if the Heat do move on from Tyler Hero this offseason and they need a high volume scorer off the bench, then we could see the Heat offer Tim Hardaway a contract of 3 to 4 years and somewhere in that $14 to $17 million range. I think this contract works out well for both parties. Hardaway in this scenario would be paid pretty well for his services, while the Heat would provide themselves with enough cap flexibility to move on from Hardaway in the future. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Watch out for more Miami Heat free agency rumors series videos in the future. I plan on doing a lot of those as we hear more and more rumors. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell. Also, go ahead and comment down below if you want the Heat to sign Tim Hardaway Jr. With that being said, I will catch you later. Peace.